It's just confirmed my worst fears that we've got them.
They come to clean houses, they come to dirty houses, they're indiscriminate. They'll happily come to the rich, the poor, the aged, the young. They don't mind, they're happy to eat blood from anybody.
1, 2, 3.
There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. You can see that live one there, live one there, going into the crevice there. See dirt here, there's another one here. Does it make you feel worse or better?
Well, in some respects, I was expecting you to find a lot more.
Bedbugs are wingless insects. They're carried on clothing or luggage and can be picked up in any public place.
I presume the bedbugs came in on a handbag or a gym bag. If you travel by tube or underground, and it's just unfortunate that they've come into Charlotte's house, really.
Imogen takes a forensic approach to pest control. Any chance to study her subject is not to be missed.
So in order for you to actually get a proper view of what I found, I've linked up this camera to the computer. Can you look on the screen?
Oh, it's horrible.
In people's back, there's one running there, look.
Shows you how fast they move, doesn't it?
Yeah, where's he gone there? One is actually jumping on top of the other. And I think he's actually trying to have sex with her. She's trying to escape, actually. I think she's failed to escape, poor thing.
How many eggs would that female bedbug produce?
Well, in her lifetime, probably as many as 200. I suspect that we've only found a few of your bedbugs.
Bedbugs can travel around the house, hidden in the tiny gaps in furniture, skirting boards, and plugs.
There may be more in the rest of the flat. Rather than wasting my time turning over all the furniture, I should get in a pest controller who's faster, smarter and quicker than me and happens to be male.
Come on then, Alfie, let's go to work. So we'll start in this room.
Okay.
Alfie, the dog, is incredible, and he's been trained to sniff out bedbugs.
This way, Alf.
The female bug emits a pheromone to attract males, which Alfie's sensitive nose can pinpoint in seconds.
So that room is clear.
With a well-trained dog like Alfie, Imogen can check the entire house in a matter of minutes.
This way. Definitely bedbugs in here because he alerted. Good boy, good boy. Come here.
Claire is Alfie's handler. They work wonderfully together.
You can see he loves it. You start training them from a puppy and then you train them on the scent. Come on then, Alfie. And then you can fine-tune that and make it the scent as small as you want. Up.
Driven from her own bedroom, Charlotte's been sleeping on the sofa bed in the lounge.
So Alfie, let's go this way. Search everything. Good boy. This side. That, where he's stopped now, that will be an alert. Show me. If you look, I can't move him away.
Yes.
He won't come with me.
He stopped here in his alert on the sofa where Charlotte and her husband have been sleeping.
I'm not sure where we're going to sleep tonight. Something we've got to think about. Probably somewhere else, a different location.
In you go. Come on then, in you go.
Well, Charlotte's already had a traditional chemical insecticide treatment. It hasn't worked. Yeah, it's happening over and over again, and actually it's a waste of time doing chemical spray treatment. We need to find out what works and why the chemical sprays aren't working.
Imogen needs to find a more effective solution to rid Charlotte of a problem that's spreading through her whole house.
I'd like to take some advice from experts and come back to Charlotte on the problem and suggest a solution for her.
They've eaten my shed floor, they've eaten my hammock cushions and all the inside foam.
By day, Cheryl runs a hair salon from her home.
But they're not little tiny things, big as cats. I suppose it depends how big your cat is.
By night, she's plagued by terrors.
At one point, probably 20 to 25 rats on that grass in the middle of the night.
I love rat jobs. All mine are rural, but I've been called to one more in the city. It's in the back garden, so it should be nice and simple.
Self-confessed country girl Deborah has a no-nonsense approach to pest control.
To me, I like to do things right. I like to do things well. I don't like letting everybody down. If only all God's creatures were this easy to control.
I mean, they've even started eating my wheelie bin. Right here, that's their teeth mark. Nice.
I just come in hoping that I can make a difference. How long have you been seeing rats here?
At least 11 years.
That's a long time.
Cheryl's husband Jim has tried to keep track of the intruders.
Sometimes they'll come out and they sort of scoot back in, and you're never quite sure it's the same one.
Have you noticed any holes or
Not
runs
holes,
or
not holes.
droppings anywhere?
No.
So you have a convenient rat hole under the shed there.
A bit of a labyrinth, you might say, underneath.
Rats are nocturnal. By using infrared cameras, Deborah aims to reveal their nightly routine.
These are the images that we got from it, and they're quite good. Oh, here he comes.
Oh my word.
The UK has a population of over 10 million rats.
But 95% of rats in the wild will only live a year.
I don't know why I'm freaked out about them, really, but it's not nice knowing that they can come up to your back door and then they could be in your house. But I don't like them.
Most people have phobias about something.
Rats carry a whole host of diseases, including salmonella and E. coli. Until she finds where they're living, Deborah's powerless to keep them away.
Right, let's check the shed out. This is the most common place for them to be living. I would suggest that any men in Britain keep their shed as tidy as they can, keep things off the floor. Oh, we've got a dead rat. It's very dead. There's no way anybody's going to revive that one. I did find a dead rat in the shed, which I have removed. He's very mummified.
Oh, God!
Oh, my goodness,
That's
mate.
awful. That's awful. It looks like a stuffed one.
Yes, he's very mummified. He's been dead a long time. I don't think they're living in your garden.
It's not just us, definitely. And there are other places and houses along here that are having a similar problem, if not a lot worse.
Finding the source is the only way to stop the rats. Deborah's investigation is only just beginning.
Ooh. Hope they've gone for this afternoon.
Jan, who lives in Woodborough, really nice lady. She's got an issue with wasps in her garden, but she's informed me that she's got a garden party this afternoon.
Ladykiller Angela has been a pest controller for 12 years.
I'm like the third emergency service as far as I can see at the moment.
Oh, they're very active again.
I've got to try and get rid of this wasp nest within a time scale of before 3 o'clock this afternoon, which is quite worrying to me.
Ooh.
It is 1:20, so the pressure's on.
On Angela's pest control patch, Jan is one of her regulars.
Hello, Jan. Hello, how are you? I'm all right.
Oh, I'm pleased it's you that's come.
Oh, you can.
It was unexpected the first time she came, because you don't think of a female pest controller. I had mice in the garage, 2 wasps' nests, and then last year she came out when I had an infestation of wasps on my broad beans. They're up there.
The UK has 6 species of wasp. Like bees, the nest is reliant on one egg-laying queen.
Look at them now.
I know, it's because the sun's out, so they've woke up, that's what it is.
The wasps will defend their queen at all costs.
I'll go and get kitted up and get on with this, because
Right.
otherwise I'm going to get behind, aren't I? The way I describe a wasp is like falling in nettles naked. It proper hurts, and I mean hurts.
The wasp's sting contains a pheromone that makes nearby wasps more aggressive.
It's the only pest I enjoy killing, and I've no remorse in getting rid of it. Because after you've been stung, you just hate them more. But the clock is ticking.
It's just 1 hour until the arrival of the ladies of the Woodborough Cancer Research Committee.
And this is a trigger like gun on the end, and then I'm just going to put that into the entrance of the nest, and then I'm going to fire powder in, which contains a bendiacarb, which will play havoc with their nervous system. In. Well, they come out white when they're covered in the insecticide, so you know that you've hit.
The toxic powder works its way through the whole nest.
But they ain't happy, are they? They're not happy. Oh dear. Do you want hand moving chairs and that?
Please, if you wouldn't mind. We've got about half an hour or so before they arrive.
Right, I don't like pressure then. When you get nice people out in the public, to me, I actually enjoy doing this job because I don't mind helping them out with the extra bits like putting the tables out. That's probably why I get on with some of my customers better.
She's very caring and she goes that little bit more.
I'm melting in there today. I don't know how I managed to be a size 16. I should be a size 10. Right, job done. I think they'll be calmed down. Just right time for when the ladies arrive for the tea, so I'm quite chuffed about that, to be honest.
Thank goodness these wasps have gone and we can now enjoy the tea party. The committee have made some cakes.
Have they?
Yes.
What, Victoria sponge?
Victoria sponge.
It's not like a cream tea, is there?
Cheers.
This is going to be a really difficult job. There are so many houses here.
In Southampton, Cheryl and Jim's back garden has become a rat run. Deborah is on the case.
The rats could be coming from anywhere, and I need to find that source where they're coming from. We're going to need to talk to all the neighbours.
The suburban rat likes to nest in overgrown or derelict ground from where it can scout for food in our gardens and bins.
Hello.
I set traps and I caught 9 in a week.
That's a lot.
Yes, that is a lot, yes.
Yeah, well done.
Two within an hour.
No, you don't mind if I have a look in the sheds and
Not
just...
at all, no.
We've got a perfect thoroughfare down here where the rats can just run down the back of all the gardens. There's a nice little M1 down here for them. But I need to find the garden that they're living in. Hello, my name's Deborah. Have you noticed anything at all?
Yes, we have. That's where we find most of them coming from.
Okay. How regularly are you seeing the rats?
Oh, every week you see them.
Okay, and you're still seeing them at the moment?
Oh yes, yeah, they're still around.
From what she's saying, I think we're getting closer to the source of the rats. I can smell them, but I can't see anything.
Verdict?
I don't think we found the source of the problem.
The bungalow directly at the back of us that you can see there. It's certainly something that I know we as neighbours along here have often thought possibly.
Could be a prime place. It might not be.
Yeah.
That house there looks like it could be a very possible one. It's got a very untidy front garden where everybody else's is very smart and trimmed. There's lots of places where they could hide in the front here, so it would be interesting to see if the back is the same as the front. Don't think anybody is in. I'd be very interested to get in there and have a look around. I'm going to keep trying, and we'll see if we can get into that garden.
It's wet and smooth. Wet and smooth. It's lovely, isn't it?
They'd sit on the roof and wait and watch, and as soon as you put the feed out, they'd just come down.
We don't really want to harm them, but we've got to do something about it.
I hate to think that anything's going to get the better of me.
Lady killer Janet's been called to Newcastle by the keepers of a city farm facing an aerial assault.
Pigeons are scavengers. They'll eat more or less anything that they can get their little beaks on. Pigeons are my pet hate. I can see that you've already got a few pest issues, bit of a pigeon problem.
Obviously feeding chickens wheat, it does attract pigeons.
Andrea and Rich have been battling the birds since the farm first opened.
It's getting to the point now, there's that many pigeons, they're not bothered about the chickens and the will start coming down.
I think there's about 50 plus. They are ingressing in and quite cheeky about it.
And they're becoming less and less phased of humans.
They don't even need to go into the city centre now for food because they've got such a good source here.
Of course, it costs us quite a bit of money to actually pay for the seed and to keep the up.
Yeah, because obviously you're not just feeding your chickens,
That's it.
you're feeding this pigeon population.
Janet has a hunch that there's more to this problem.
I mean, I like grubbing around because I were a grubby kid.
She's seen signs that the farm has another uninvited guest.
It's like doing your detective work just to, you know, sort out what the problem is and everything. Oh. Aha. More rat droppings. Look at that. That is fresh. So that tells me that they're quite active underneath this floor. It's just an ideal situation for them because they've got somewhere to live and a source of food nearby.
And the rats are not vegetarians.
There was a hole in this door.
Right, okay.
And it had been chewed to over 3 times the size overnight.
Right, okay.
Now, I had ducklings in here. In the morning, there's 3 in there and there was no sign of them, not even feathers.
Right, okay. So it's an area that needs monitoring, really.
If you put food in for them inside overnight to keep the pigeons off, then you've got the rats.
Yeah, so you've got...
And vice versa, so...
Yeah, you've got dual problems going on, haven't you?
To see what the rats are really up to at night, Janet has installed surveillance cameras in the chicken coop.
I think you'll find it quite interesting to see what's been going on.
They look so cute.
Yeah.
They're all starting to appear now.
Yeah.
The infestation is really bad. And even though sometimes rodenticides are unpleasant to use, it may be that's the way forward.
I prefer a slightly more organic way than poisoning the rats.
And the farm promotes looking after animals, and we don't like to hurt or harm any kind of animals.
No.
It's just working out now the best way to do it.
Janet can only offer advice. The decision on a treatment rests with the farm.
We like to be green, and you know, rats, they are vermin, and as much as they are a problem, I want it to be done quickly and humanely as possible.
Poison is effective, but some consider it inhumane. While the debate goes on, the problem goes untreated.
The problem is quite bad. I think it's got out of hand, and it will take quite a while to control it.
Oh, look, beautiful view.
Her bedbug job in South London has led Imogen to travel to Wales.
I've come to Tintern in Monmouthshire to meet an expert in bedbug behaviour and management. Charlotte's definitely got bedbugs in her bedroom and in the living room. She's already had an insecticidal spray treatment and the bedbugs have returned. They're persistent little creatures. Hopefully he'll have the answers for me. Oh, wow. Is it safe to come in without
it is safe,
clothing?
Yeah. It's fairly safe.
Dr. Richard Naylor has been studying live bedbugs for over 15 years. He might just have some answers for Imogen.
They can't
generation,
live
yeah.
without feeding, so
No,
what
I have
do
to
you
feed
do?
them myself. In fact, I have to feed some now, so I can show you how I do it.
Oh, okay, that'd be interesting.
So you can see here's some pots of bugs already packed in. There's a couple of hundred. And I just strap them to my arms. These pots have just a fine mesh on the bottom, so the bugs can't escape. They can feed through the mesh. I've fed tens of thousands of them, obviously, and my immune system's just stopped responding.
Stopped responding.
Bed bugs find blood vessels under the skin with their long, piercing mouth part. Pressure from the vessel fills the insect with blood in around 4 minutes.
You're experimenting on yourself.
After 15 years of doing it, it feels completely normal.
Do you think you'll be partially bedbug by the time they...
Perhaps so, yeah.
They look like they're really feeding well there.
Okay, they look like they're about done now. So you can see it's left my arm looking a little bit red.
So in my work in North London, I've been having a frequent problem in callbacks. Why do you think I'm failing?
Are you using an insecticide?
Yes.
Well, what we're seeing is the insecticide resistance is becoming a really big problem. I've set up a little experiment. I'm just going to put 10 bed bugs into each of these dishes, and these dishes are all lined with filter paper which has been treated with an insecticide.
One dish holds modern-day bed bugs. The other, a colony bred in isolation since the 1960s.
So what I expect to see tomorrow is that these will have died. And if these haven't died, then I know there's a problem with my experiment. And then the question is, have the newly collected bugs died or not?
Hello.
Oh, good morning, Imogen. Come in. I was just taking a look at our experiment. The insecticide is a neurotoxin, so it affects their nervous system and it tends to paralyse them. And I'm happy to say that they look very sick today. They're either dead or dying for the most part.
But not so with the modern-day bedbug colony.
They're actually very happy. They're running around. They'd live on here indefinitely, I think.
So this is the same formula of insecticide that I use.
That's right.
And they're still alive. They're running
They
around.
are, yeah.
So that's why I feel I've been doing a job that's been a failure. It's a waste of time. That's really depressing. So if insecticides don't work, what is the hope for the future?
People are already using heat treatments, steam and vacuuming, and these kind of physical treatment options, impossible for bugs to evolve resistance to.
The experiment used one kind of pesticide. Although new ones are being developed, this time Imogen's mind is made up.
Well, I feel quite depressed by my meetings today. Therefore, with Charlotte's bedbug problem, I'm going to go back to Claire, who manages Alfie the dog, and ask her to arrange a heat treatment.
Has he become a dad?
Yes, we've got 8 pups now.
8 pups, yeah.
I want to keep one, but my husband won't let me.
You need to keep one.
I might say to him, if you don't let me keep a pup, I think we need to have another baby then.
That's a good idea.
Angela's joined Janet in Newcastle to call on Rich at the city farm, where the rat infestation is now a far bigger concern than the pigeons.
I think Rich, I think he comes from farming stock, by the sounds of it.
So he knows what the crack is then,
Yeah, he
really?
does. But he doesn't like things to be killed.
As much as I don't like rats, I don't particularly like to want to poison them. I'd rather it was done quickly and humanely.
Rats that eat poison die of internal bleeding over several days. Janet and Angela know it's an unpopular option at the farm.
I do kind of get this, but it's vermin, and they've got to understand that at the end of the day, that vermin can carry disease as well for their animals.
That's it.
Sited between a river and a railway line, the farm is the perfect spot for rats, providing food, water, and a warm place to stay.
And then here, this is where compost heap starts. And you can see where they're running through. Lee's having a good root round up there, isn't it?
Oh my
look.
God. All
Yeah.
underneath here.
Yeah.
They've had a takeaway, look.
Yeah.
The rat problem is still as bad. We caught one yesterday.
Oh, Jesus. Rat's nest. Janet! What? Got a rat's nest here, love.
Working dog Alfie can smell rats long before anyone sees them. He's trained to catch and kill them.
He's having a good dig, Mum. Oh! Whoa, whoa, good lad. Yoo-hoo, good lad.
I told you there was one there, you don't lie.
I'll go get a bag for this one.
That one rat there and how rapidly that could have bred.
Exactly.
And how quickly just that one's gone.
One pair of rats can produce a colony of over 2,000 in 1 year.
They've just been allowed to take over too much, haven't they?
Yeah, because of the fact that they don't really like using rodenticide. But you can't let it get like this. It's a public area, is this?
It's the only way to gain control back.
Yeah.
Rodenticide is proven to be effective against large populations of rats. For Janet, this is the only solution.
Hiya, you okay? Right, the population size is so bad. I mean, we've seen lots of evidence today, haven't we?
Yeah.
Right,
They've got that area there, which is so, you know, nice for them. It's like a 4-star hotel.
The population you've got at the moment, it's not an acceptable level, is it?
No, not really. We need to use rodenticide because it's really your only solution to the problem. I know it's not what you want to hear.
I mean, I'm not 100% on it, but if it needs to be done, then that's the route we'll have to take.
We don't like putting pesticides down anywhere. We don't like using chemicals on the farm, but at the same time, we've got to manage this problem.
This is mainly for what I use for rats. So what I'm going to do is load it up with block bait. This is a lockable station that stops other species getting in.
She's the expert at the end of the day, and if that's the only way, then that'll have to be the way.
Come out, girls. Come on, come on, come on. It is a bit of tough love, you know, and it's the only option that we've got to get it under control.
Oi, monkey! Go away!
We're on the same wavelength. We both had similar backgrounds. Angie worked with the father on a farm. You know, I worked with my dad.
Most people like looking through, you know, clothes catalogue a lot, but I don't. I actually get excited at looking through pest control catalogue.
And we just rub off along each other nicely.
Are we on it?
Yeah, we're on. Job's a good one.
One, two, three, lift. Okay. Well, today, having taken advice from one of my heroes in the bedbug world, we're going to do a heat treatment. We're going to raise the temperature within Charlotte's flat up to 60 degrees. Claire has offered to show me exactly how they do the treatment, so I can learn how to do it.
Rotate that.
Yeah.
And this is where the air will come out from. Every insect will have a thermal death point. Bedbugs is 46 degrees Celsius. Treatment all works, as long as you get up to that temperature that kills them.
The customers have had to leave the premises. Oh wow, look at that. What a setup.
This is the boiler.
Yeah.
And the boiler will heat up the hot water, push it through these pipes that will go up into the house, and then that will heat up the radiators.
Should have brought my gardening gloves with me to put on. Break my fingernails. Heave-ho.
It's seen more of a male role because it is physically demanding.
Good thing I did all that rowing at university.
Turn it up. There we go.
Each room in turn is sealed to contain the heat.
They're not a bad pest, they're just a pest that feeds from blood. Because they come into your bed and they invade your privacy, and your bed is where you relax, it makes you feel
It's
really
your
uncomfortable.
personal space, and yeah, you feel, people would feel actually filthy, don't they? They feel contaminated in some way.
Now it's a wait, as the house is heated to a temperature that's fatal to bedbugs and kills them wherever they're hiding.
This is worse than steam, this heat. This permeates every pore, doesn't it? Yeah. It's really unpleasant. They must be really resilient, these bedbugs. I mean, it just proves what a hard individual they are to get rid of.
Women like Imogen and Claire make up just 6% of the UK's pest control workforce.
Fresh air. I'm sure you get it when you're going in you're slightly less capable because you're female.
It's not that people say things I wouldn't say. It's just sort of a certain look they give. They're a bit surprised when a woman turns up at the door.
You really know about the pest sort of thing, yeah.
For the treatment to be fully effective, the house is heated overnight.
Ready to go in?
Yep, let's go. Well, wonderfully, we're at the end of 24 hours of heating this property.
So the only thing living in here now is us.
Just, thank goodness.
Imogen is now hoping that these South London squatters have had their eviction notice served.
Yeah, the beauty of this treatment is every stage of the life cycle will have been exterminated.
I'm happy to be home. I'm not looking forward to making the bed up and all those jobs, but it's been a success.
I feel tired, hot, relieved to be at the end of these bed bugs. I mean, extreme pests call for extreme measures. See you then, mind the bed bugs don't bite.
Part of the bedtime routine after you've had a wash, cleaned your teeth, got your nightwear on. And then I go on the moth hunt. There's one on the wardrobe.
Anne has been suffering with an unwanted house guest for 4 months.
I've never been obsessive about things like this. Right, these are some moths that I've caught, and I actually feel I'm getting a bit obsessive. And then just down from it is one of the larvae.
Pest controller Angela is on the case.
I'm not sure of the extent of the damage that's been done yet, so we'll have to have a look in the level of infestation we're looking at.
And our little friend is just about to scorp it, but I've got him.
Textile moth is quite a popular pest now in the UK. It's quite persistent as well, if left untreated.
They've had a right little munch at that as well.
And once the damage is done, it's done.
Baby wipes are great.
Over the past 5 years, the number of pest control calls to deal with moths has risen by 75%.
Hello, yes.
I'm Ange.
How do you do?
Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
please come in.
Thank you.
Adult moths love the dark. It's here they lay batches of up to 100 eggs.
Oh yeah, they've had a really good munch down there, haven't they? Oof.
The hatched larvae feed on natural fibres.
See, something people don't do on a regular basis is obviously pull the bed out, which I do. I can't be bothered because it's hard work, isn't it? But you can see all the damage. It's the silk wrapped up with the carpet fibres all mixed in. It's actually the stage where they go into a pupa, and that's when the moth is seeing them emerging, but by the time that happens, the damage is done.
Oh my God, my carpet's gone.
It's threadbare, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah. You just start to think, where are they? Where are they coming from? How am I going to get rid of them? And you almost go into like panic mode.
Yeah, I understand totally.
Angela has come armed with a specialist camera to put Anne's obsession under the microscope.
That's what's in your carpet.
You're joking. Was that on the bed then?
That's, yeah.
Oh, Ange.
I'm sorry to deliver this, but obviously I've got a really big moth problem.
Oh, that's what they actually look like. Oh, no. Like out of a horror film. I actually feel quite traumatised by it.
It's not a problem, don't worry. I'll get rid of the problem.
Oh, thanks.
That's what you've got to remember, I will get rid of this problem.
It's an infestation, and you just think, well, how many other people have got it and just don't even realise?
What's going on here? I can't even dress myself this day.
Anne is asked to leave, while Angela treats the house with insecticide.
It's a bendiacarb. It basically messes with the nervous system of the insect.
The affected moth is unable to reproduce, and the infestation is contained.
This insect can hide anywhere in cracks and crevices.
Angela concentrates the treatment in places usually missed when vacuuming. This is where moth larvae, when left undisturbed, can get to work, with devastating results.
Well, I'll give Anne a ring and then arrange to come back in about 10 days' time.
Hello, Ange, how you coming?
Right, thank you. Right then, how have the moths been?
One was back last night. It was up there. Right. And this wardrobe, you can shift it.
It looks like a permanent one to me. I thought it was fitted.
Yeah, but you can shift it. Well, there was a lot down there initially, but there doesn't look like there's anything there.
I'm chuffed to bits, I am, at the moment. I really am. Kat, this is where it was horrendous.
Anything?
No.
No,
yeah! This was a really bad room for them, I noticed that, and especially around the bed area. I was really upset with what damage they'd done to your poor carpet. So, you know, the next step is to do another treatment on the property. But as far as I'm concerned, we've pretty much nailed it.
Absolutely delighted. I mean, I think Angela's done a fabulous job. It became her problem, not my problem anymore. I mean, it's just something so small can do so much damage.
Hiya, Dad, it's only me.
Oh, hello, Janet.
Janet needs help to work out how to protect a Newcastle city farm from attack by pigeons.
I've rung you because I need to run a bit of stuff by you.
Right.
She's seeking advice from one person who knows more than her.
It's good advice from him. What he said is to actually put a net over.
Janet worked with her father for 27 years until his recent retirement.
I always get good advice off my dad because it's like second nature to him. So I'm glad that I've rung him.
When things get busy, Jim's still on hand to help.
Because everybody keeps asking about you see, and they keep saying, how's your dad doing, you know? And I think they think you've dropped off planet sort of thing. It does make Dad good to come out on site. He don't want to do long days, so I tend to take him more to the local work what we have. And he enjoys it as well. That's yours.
Right. I told her when she wanted to go into pest control, I said, come on then. I'll show you how to do it.
All right, over here to office. I mean, we rub off on each other really, really well because we spent so many years working together.
There was that one that went there and this one at the door. Funny enough, once they saw what we were doing, they thought she was getting better than me.
It's just been like old times and we've had a really, really good morning.
This is where I got a bucket of pest thrown on me.
I really do miss working with my dad because of the relationship, what we had together, and we work well together.
Are you proud of Janet?
Always have been, since she was born, definite.
Hi, Keith.
Hi, Janet.
Nice to meet you finally.
Yes.
At the city farm, Janet's taken Dad Jim's advice and called a local father and son team to install a net above the chicken coop.
Let me get up here.
What we'll do, we'll see if we can get it straight over the top of this.
Right. What I'm looking at is how these pigeons are watching what we're doing.
I think it'll definitely solve the pigeon problem. They will try to find the ways in, but I think they'll find it pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's looking good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the pigeons are hungry already.
No. Well, they've been watching. Working with Keith today, I've had a really, really good day. I can't wait to tell my dad about him, actually, and say I've been working with a man today that, you know, reminds me of you when me and you used to work together.
Hello.
Hey, Andrea. You all right? Yeah?
I've been in a little tent.
I know. What do you think?
It's great. It's definitely going to solve the problem.
Yeah, well, I think so, because I've been watching them, and they are very bemused about it, because they're now wondering how they're going to get some food tonight. They've come down and they're looking and thinking, what we're going to do, what we're going to do. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it.
When Janet told us about the netting, I just thought, well, what a simple idea. I wish we'd thought of it before, really, because, you know, we don't want to hurt the pigeons. We don't want to do anything that's going to, you know, cause them any stress.
Job well done. People think that pest control is all about killing things, but as you can see, there's lots of other methods.
The last time I was here, there was one garden that I couldn't get into and it looked very unkept.
In a Southampton suburb, residents are being plagued by rats, and lady killer Deborah is right on their tails.
I'm coming back today, see if I can get in there and have a chat to the homeowner. With any luck, I can get in and have a look round the garden, because I think it could be the source of the problem. Not sure if I heard something. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my name's Deborah. I'm a pest controller. I'm just in the area. I've been called out by one of your neighbours because they've got a problem with rats in their garden. And I'm just going round all the neighbours just to see. I want to find the source of the problem. And I just wonder whether you'd allow me to have a look in your garden and just see if there's anything in your garden that might shed some light on it.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, you're quite overgrown here.
Okay.
Is that window permanently open?
No. Well, during the summer it is, yes.
Okay, because it would be nothing for a rat to run up here and go in through there.
Really?
Yeah, no problem at all.
If you want to go in and have a scrabble around, feel free.
Rod's been living here with his wife for the last 38 years.
Looking at this, you should have a huge rat problem in here. But I can't smell anything.
No.
I can't see any evidence.
Truth of the matter is, if you can't cope with it, you don't cope with it. And so I just shut it off. I don't see it. Obviously, I fall over the rubbish.
Have you ever had any activity in any of the rest of the house?
No, no.
Okay.
All of this is this year's growth. None of it's earlier.
We've garden got on top of you a bit this year.
Well, both I and the wife have had illness. I had what you might call an episode while cutting down the trees. I thought I'd better go and see the quack. He shocked me and said he thought I had a heart attack. Dear, don't have to cut you down to size.
Got a lot of clutter in here, but
all good stuff.
Okay, I trust you.
I know it might look like clutter to a lady, but it's all good stuff. This is a good solid shed, though. It's made from shiplap. It's not like this other thing, which is feather edge.
No, that's fine. Now this one will be more interesting, won't it?
You're not going to get in there, are you?
It absolutely stinks of rat activity.
Oh.
There's droppings all over the place. You've got a lovely piece of insulation in here, which I think I'm quite enjoying.
Insulation?
And that, as you can see, has been quite nicely chewed.
Yeah, well, the mice tend to do that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, that's a little bit bigger than mouse, though.
OK.
It's quite possible there's rats in there. I just want to see if we can help this guy to clear up this problem. If there are any rats in here, they're going to run straight down into everybody else's gardens. So they're going to have more of a problem before we can improve it. We've got a lot of work to do in here. How would you feel about us coming in and cutting all this back down for you?
I can't. So I suspect you can't.
Okay. Is it something we could try and...
We'll see.
At the moment, he's a little bit apprehensive. He doesn't know me, so let's keep our fingers crossed. And with any luck, he'll let me come back. We'll get some skips in and really clear this place up. Because this is the source, and without dealing with the source, everybody else is still going to have a problem.
What's he doing?
Wedging me in.
Pissing men drivers. All the same. Selfish.
A month ago, Angela and Janet put down rat poison at the Newcastle City farm. Today, phase 2 of their campaign.
And you're ready for action, aren't you, Alfie? You know something's kicking off today, yeah? And it looks like buttermilk melting in his mouth. What we're going to do is move the compost heap today. It is giving them a really good source of cover, and obviously there's food in there as well. We think the rats are living in there and hopping across over to the farm. By moving it, we're going to disturb them.
Angela's dog Alfie is trained to catch and kill the rats that run away.
It'll smell nice tonight again, isn't he? He's going to have his work cut out today. We could lose some today because it's just such an area they can bolt to. But we'll just have to see how he reacts.
The compost heap is thought to house hundreds of rats.
I tell you what, Janet, it don't smell healthy up here. Jesus.
See, I think they're going to be on the top, aren't they?
What they'll do is, all rats always do it. I've noticed on most rat jobs where I've moved stuff, is they sit to the last. They really do. I should have bought a deck chair and just sat down and waited. He's not as bothered as what he was last time here, nowhere near. Me and Janet put them rat boxes here, and I'm sure that they would have kicked in and done the job, to be honest.
How's it going?
I reckon you've bleeding nailed them with the bloody poison.
The rodenticide has worked even faster than Janet and Angela could have hoped.
I said to Richie, if we don't move it, it's just going to get absolutely hammered in winter with rats, because it's warm.
I'll tell you what we've noticed today. We've not had much rat activity
No.
at all, have we?
It's definitely dropped off.
Yeah, I've only seen one over since you were last here.
Right, so that's
and
good.
that was down on the water. I can live with them living down there. Yeah.
I'm really, really chuffed with the result that we've had from this place. It's, you know, more visually seen and running around during the daytime like they were doing. So Richie's happy, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
The work that they have done, it's vast improvement from what it was. And we've always tried to control a little bit, but, you know, sometimes you need experts in, so it's been good.
You never know what's going to happen with pest control, but with the treatments that we've been using, we've been really successful. So this is it, every day is different, every job's different as well. And this has been a good one and a really, really good result.
Do you know, Ros, who's at the back there?
No, I don't.
In Southampton, Deborah's updating Cheryl on her ongoing rat investigation.
How often do you get together with your neighbours or talk to your neighbours?
We don't really. We were all busy working, you know.
Deborah suspects the rats have made a home in Rod's garden.
Morning, Rod.
Morning.
The good news is that he's now agreed to let her clear it up.
How are you this morning?
Bit bleary-eyed.
Ready for a clear up?
That would be good. I was acutely aware that I may have caused all my neighbours these problems with the rodents. I was embarrassed at the thought that that's what had happened.
It's going to be a very big day today. I've hired in 3 gardeners to come in and help, but there's so much to do, we're going to be lucky to get it all done. Rod, how do you feel about us getting rid of the glass?
A lot of glass, very heavy, very difficult to, you know.
There's some serious rat feces in there.
Rats contaminate everything they touch. Half of them carry the fatal Weil's disease.
What did you want to keep the football for?
Kids to play with.
Okay, I want you to bear in mind,
Yeah?
rats continuously urinate.